Hey folks, my name is Ravish and welcome back to another video in the series of DevOps interviews. Now, we have a profile with us today. This person has started his career as a system admin on Windows and Linux environments and later on moved to cloud and in DevOps roles. Post that he is around 3 to 4 years of experience in his IT career with cloud and the other aspects, and he works on provisioning, maintaining the creation of VPCs. As soon as he gets the request from the manager or from the leads, he does the work. And in this interview we're going to talk about mostly on the AWS part, what exactly he does. I'm going to give him a few scenarios in which he has to think and what is the best solution that he can put, the day-to-day activities. And the thing is, in this interview, in order to evaluate him properly, I started from the very basics, like asking about the zero downtime and the EC2 instances, the storage, the networking, what exactly is that. And after that, I asked about the security part that he has taken care of, what he will do if there would be an attack, a little bit about DDOS and DOS. Yeah, that would be this interview would be all about. And this is close to 20 to 25 minutes of interview, and it was just an excerpt of the larger part. So yeah, that's about it. So before moving further in this video, kindly subscribe the channel because that would really support me to create more content like this. All right, so without further ado, let's get started.
So we have around 15,000 servers in our environment. We have a mixed setup like Windows and Linux EC2 instances. Our day-to-day tasks like we have to provision the Windows and Linux EC2 infrastructure. We have to create the VPCs and subnets, provisioning the instances in respect to subnets, and taking the AMI backup for critical production EC2 instances, attaching the EBS volumes to the EC2 instances as additional storage for the application purpose, extending the EBS volume size if they require. Based on the compute recommendation optimization, we need to do the vertical scaling based on compute optimized recommendation. And we have to work on IAM as well. We need to create single sign and SSO users, SSO groups, and we have to create the permission sets, attaching managed policies to the permission set, and writing custom inline policy based on the requirement for the permission set. This is how the IAM work, creating Lambda functions, DynamoDB tables. And as part of our weekend activities, we used to work on downgrading and upgrading of our Elasticsearch clusters and NetDB clusters, these things, rechanging of RTS instances, and provisioning the infrastructure whenever the requirement. We have production development and testing environment. For any changes for production, we used to go with ServiceNow change request. For development testing, we will go with Jira ticket. We have a regular meeting will happen, Scrum call. Sprint will end for every 15 days. In that, they will send some development tasks as well for us. We have to complete that. Apart from that, as a cloud ops engineer, I will have to perform operation tasks like patching activity. Through system manager, we have to observe the patching. If anything failure, we have to patch the server, either Windows EC2 or Linux EC2. This is how briefly about myself.
Okay. So let's talk about daily roles and responsibilities that you have, right? So can you just walk me through that?
Daily roles and responsibilities like we used to get the mails based on that CloudWatch alarm notification. If any disk usage got full, if any CPU utilization is high, we used to get that alarm mails. So based on that, we'll check the disk usage in the respective Linux servers through CloudWatch, and we'll do the housekeeping. And if any high CPU utilization, we'll inform application team by the top command utilization to reduce their utilization. If Windows is instance, we'll monitor through Task Manager. And these are the things we need to do through mails, and adding storage based on the requirement. And apart from that, sometimes application team requested to open the new ports and open the new CIDR ranges based on their application incoming traffic requirement. Those things, they will raise the tickets we need to perform while triggering their Lambda functions. Actually, in our environment, every day, the Neptune sync will happen. So the Neptune will happen from Elasticsearch cluster to Neptune. It will trigger by a Lambda function by application development team. If any issue while they are getting any permission related issue, any KMS key authentication issue, so based on the issue, we need to troubleshoot that. We need to pass that ARN in S3 bucket policy, or these things we use it to do based on the issue. We do the troubleshooting. Sometimes most of the issues will come IAM related as well. That's how briefly 50% of our work related to IAM. IAM issues will come more mostly.
Okay, okay. So what is your total years of experience?
4 years, 7 months.
4 years and 7 months. Okay. And how much in AWS admin?
AWS admin only 3 years, 6 months.
Okay, 3 years.
As an initial career, I started with VMware, Windows, and Linux. Later on, I moved to this platform.
Okay, okay, great, great. Okay, so let's start from the very basics and then we'll climb on. So define. So we have three basic type of cloud services like computing, storage, and networking. Can you just
Correct.
quickly walk me through what exactly do we have? What is the meaning of this compute, storage, and networking, and what are the services that AWS provides in that?
Correct. Yeah, the compute in the sense, the EC2, these services will come under compute. Coming to the storage, elastic block storage, EBS volumes, and EFS file systems. Yeah, these things will come under storage related. FSX also will come under storage only. Coming to the networking part, the security groups, virtual private cloud VPC, NACLs, and web application firewalls. These all things come under networking thing, irrespective of AWS.
Okay. In your past experience, do you have any experience on autoscaling? I mean, have you done any autoscaling?
Autoscaling I haven't done, but in our environment we have autoscaling as configured already. When before I entered into the project, in our setup autoscaling is there. Like we have a target groups. In front of the target groups there is application load balancer. If any load got high, automatically the new instances will be launched in the target groups. Based on that method, return launching method they use to write, right? We have some network load balancers are there. We have some application load balancers are there in front of target groups. That's for the front end is application load balancers, network load balancer. In our setup, we have that.
Okay, so you have done the setup or someone else has done the setup?
Someone has done. I didn't get chance.
Okay. But
But vertical scaling, I do have experience.
okay, can you just walk me through that? Whatever experience that you have on vertical scaling.
Actually, based on compute optimization recommendation, sometimes if the load is getting high every day, distance is getting high because the load is unable, we are getting some performance issue in the servers. So we'll discuss with application team and based on the inputs, we'll raise the change request. So with the production change request, first thing what we do, we stop the EC2 instance. After stopping the EC2 instance, based on CPU and memory, we go to the allocation. Then we'll click on apply, then start the instance. This is the vertical scaling. In RDS, we have automated auto scaling features are available. Suppose Elasticsearch cluster or RDS, if you want to extend, we have to go to edit setting. We can increase the node count from 3 to 6. We can change the instance type. These things we can click on apply immediately. In RDS and Elasticsearch cluster, these are all managed by AWS only. Just we have to do the edit settings only. These things I said right initially. For weekends, we use it to work on upgrading and downgrading of our clusters. We have NetDB cluster, we have RDS cluster, and we have Elasticsearch cluster.
Okay. What do you understand by zero downtime or near zero downtime?
Zero downtime, near zero downtime, no idea.
Okay. So whenever you do deployment in your current project, do you have any experience on deployment?
Yeah. All deployments we use it to do through CDK. Actually, we have our Bitbucket. We won't do anything manually for production grade environments. Like first thing, for whatever the code will be available in the respective repo for the respective application. Initially, we'll pull the code from the Bitbucket repository in my local folder. Later on, I will create the branch from the Jira ticket itself by fetching that master branch. Then I switch it to that feature branch. Then I will open the Visual Studio Code in my respective feature branch, whatever the repo. Even if I want to do the instance type change, if I want to add any additional storage, if I want to pass any parameter change, throughput change, whatever, we'll do through code only. After that, if I run CDK diff, it will show what are the actions it is going to perform. After that, we'll raise the pull request. My manager will approve that. Post approval, will deploy the code from my master branch. This is how for the some repositories, they directly integrated with Jenkins. So we'll do all the things through Jenkins. After coding changes, we'll go to open that Jenkins job, go to build and parameters. We'll pass the parameter of stack name, and we'll pass the parameter diff, and we'll pass the parameter environment, and trigger that job, build down. Then it will show. Then we'll trigger the deploy and build down. Then it will deploy. So for some repositories, they automated with DevOps. So some repos we still doing manually with CDK command from Visual.
Okay. Okay. So have you ever done anything related to cost optimization in AWS?
Yeah, that's what I said, right, regarding the cost optimization. So this is based on compute recommended optimization report. Will do the vertical scaling. Will downgrade the instances, and will allocate the tags for all resources. Will pull the report based on the tags. What are how many resources are running? Either these things are utilizing completely or not. For some of the development servers, now we will shut down those servers in weekends as part of Saturday, Sunday, because of reducing the bill. Then Monday morning will start in business hours. For some of the RDS, some of the EC2 will follow this approach. Through Blast Explorer dashboard, will monitor these things. That visualizing graphical representation will show now how much cost is extending. These things will check frequently. Will coordinate with my manager and work these things.
Okay. So what type of application do you folks work on? What sort of application is this?
Currently, you are asking the applications running under my environment?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, currently in our environment, middleware is running, JBoss is running, and these books and records applications are running. Some Splunk applications are running. These things currently running. Some web applications are also running, Jakarta applications.
Okay. So, I mean, what are you doing for the logging part of your applications?
Application and I won't do much. Actually, if any developer reported an issue, so based on that, developers will raise the concern, like while uploading my file into the S3 bucket through my Lambda trigger, I'm getting access denied, permission denied, like I'm getting KMS key exception error. Different kinds of issues will come from them. They will report that issue. So based on that error, we'll work and troubleshoot and fix the issue. That's how we'll go. Completely, we won't involve in application things.
Okay. So let's talk about network and security. Okay. So, like, what are the services that you have worked in network and security part?
Most of our work, it's like day-to-day only. So they will ask to add some rules. They will ask to remove some inbound rules. They will ask to open some ports for make it work for their application web UI. These kind of requests will get from security group level. Most of the things, even we provision any new server, we have to import the core security group. Core security group is different requirements. One is based on our application requirements. So based on the application requirement, application specific security groups already created. The respective rules should be already added. Straightforward, we will input that groups. So if any new requirement coming, like this traffic need to allow for my mission, this traffic need to allow my RDS, means we will go to the security group and edit inbound rules. We'll open the respective port and say that like that.
Okay. Okay. So consider your application is on a public domain, okay, and a lot of people are accessing it. Okay. So Consider a scenario in which there is a cyber attack. Okay.
Okay.
So, what types of cyber attacks you have heard about?
Some DDoS attack I heard.
Okay, great. So,
But for preventing those things, now we won't expose internet directly.
no, no, wait,
See, in
wait,
our
wait.
environment, we create the VPC endpoints.
Wait. I
This
haven't. Wait. I haven't asked my question yet. Okay, so you talk about DDoS, right? Or DDoS, whatever you say.
Yeah.
What do I understand? What is the full form of this? What do I understand by this? How does it happen?
Just I heard about, but I never explored on those things. But I heard about that. Just I told you.
Okay, I'll help you. So,
Yeah.
DOS is basically denial of service, and DDoS is, or you call it DDoS, is distributed denial of service. Okay, so
Okay.
basically what happens is, consider a scenario in which your application can handle 100 people at one time. Okay,
Okay.
and just because someone wants to take your website down, somehow they are creating thousands of requests. So your server
Oh.
can handle only 100, and your server is now getting thousands of requests. So
Oh.
because of that, the actual person who is a genuine person won't be able to log in into your system or use your application. So
Yeah, it will like, create huge load because of multiple requests. That's what it will happen due to DDoS.
yeah,
Just I'm asking my doubt.
Go ahead. Yeah, you are correct.
Yeah.
So anything related to that, like if I want to avoid these types of cyber attacks, how do I do that? There are multiple services available. So how do I do that?
Mhm. The WAF I heard, web application firewall something. But
WAF
I
is there.
never
Yes.
implemented any solution. But just I heard those things. I didn't get chance to implement those.
Okay. I mean, there are multiple things available. You can do at VPC level as well. You can do at
Yeah, VPC endpoints I said now. Our environment we use it to create the endpoints for private networking purpose. Some of the things will create NAT gateways, NAT instances, and we have external firewall. We have a security team separately. They will restrict for some firewall from their end, local security. So they have a lot of control apart from us.
Okay.
Local firewall security is enabled.
Okay. Um. So have you ever worked on this NAT gateways or NAT instances or something? Have you ever worked
Yeah,
on?
I'm familiar. Yeah, familiar. Yeah.
Okay. So what is the difference between a NAT gateway and NAT instance?
Basically, the NAT gateway is like internet gateway. It's suppose if you create internet gateway means it will be accessible for publicly. NAT gateway it only serves for private purpose. So the difference between NAT gateway and NAT instance, main difference. See, NAT instance means EC2 instance only. We have to use the NAT Amazon mission image for creating that. And security group we can attach to NAT instance. For NAT gateway, we can't attach security group. That is the major difference. Apart from that, some features will be there.
Okay. Um. So let's say. Okay. Consider a scenario. Have you ever heard about this sale that goes on Amazon, like Big Billion, something like that, on Flipkart and something? Yeah. So, how would you create the infrastructure in such a way to, let's say, on a general basis, you get today's 1st June, okay? Let's say on a
Okay.
general basis, you get 1,000 requests per day.
Okay.
Just consider a scenario, it's an assumption. But when there would be Big Billion Day or something like sale, it is starting from 1st of June. Okay. So how will you create the architecture? How will you create everything so that you can serve a lot of requests? So how would you
Got it,
prepare
got it.
yourself and prepare the company?
Yeah, for financial prospect, if you want to save the money, whatever the big billion sale, whatever that's temporary, right? It won't stay for more either 15 days or 3 weeks like that. In that kind of scenario, it is better to go with spot instances. So that we can save the money. Spot and reserved. Compared with the reserved instance, it is better to go with spot instance. The on-demand instances, it is better for. That's what I can tell for this question. I said in cost saving purpose.
No, my question is like, if tomorrow is for example 1st of June. Okay, tomorrow
Got
is
it, got it. Yeah. For extending the load purpose, we have to create auto scaling group. We have to put the load balancer in front of that. So minimum maximum method you have to configure in launching method. So if the load is getting very huge, automatically the new instances will be created either RDS or EC2 for accommodating to load. So if the load got decreased, it came to minimum configuration. Suppose if you are using any RDS or Neptune DB for accommodating that load, now we can do horizontal scaling straight away, go to edit setting and extend the node count to 6 or 10 and just click and apply immediately, it will extend automatically. Once that business load got decreased, right, we can go ahead and we can decrease the node count. That's how we can do.
No, but you are supposed to go into sale on 1st of June, but how would you test that your systems would run fine if you get multiple requests? How would you test that?
Yeah, in Linux, some commands will be there for generating some what we call stress on that server and test whether it is bearing that load or not. I'm unable to recollect that, but I never tested this kind of scenarios.